Hey guys, it's Jeremiah with Craftsman Home Inspections. We're talking about foundations today, grading, moisture problems that are causing structural issues in a home. So if you're looking for a home inspector, certified professional inspector in the Denver or Aurora area, look no further. Hire a home inspector from Craftsman Home Inspections LLC. You can find out more about us at craftsmancolorado.com. So here we are in the house. We're seeing some cracking around the windows and walls. These are worse than I typically like to see. You see some corner cracks in homes. It's pretty normal, initial settling to see those types of things. But once you start seeing issues like this, they definitely require further investigating. So we're seeing them around the fireplace. We're seeing fireplace movement, cracking here. So I want to talk to you about moisture, keeping water away from the house. So in a house like this, built in the 70s, you should see that the initial settling is already complete. Only time you see ongoing structural issues are when typically you're adding water and moisture to the foundation. Usually that would have to do with grading issues. Here, we've got multiple downspouts discharging to the same system. So we had that one, we've got another one here. They're coming together and they're all discharging right here. So they're not discharging away from the home. If you have downspouts, discharge those things, if you can, 10 feet away from your house. I know nobody likes to do that because it looks obnoxious, but that's the best thing you can do. 6 to 8 feet is what is suggested, but here in this case, from multiple sections of the roof, all the water that's being gathered from snow, rain is just being allowed to sit right here next to the foundation. It's eroding this area, which used to be nicely graded. Again, means that the ground, the soil against the foundation is sloping away from the home. That grade was being pushed away from the home, but this has caused the soil to erode away from the house, and now it's created a bowl underneath these bushes, and the water, snow is just melting right there. Not only that, but the downspouts above are missloped, damaged. They're spilling over, again, settling here against the foundation and allowing adding more water here. And what do you know? We've got a through wall crack on both sides of the house. So these cracks go all the way through the wall. They're descending, which means they're smaller at the bottom, they get bigger as they go up. It means that there's soil movement, most likely due to water around the home. Let me take you around the house, give you a nice view out there. You can see Pikes Peak off in the distance that direction. You can't actually see downtown Denver there. But if we go inside the house, this is the opposite side of the house. We'll see efflorescence. So efflorescence is what happens when water moves through concrete. It leaves behind some salt deposits, just indicates moisture movement. Pretty typical on most cracks and foundations. Again, if you see a vertical crack, a skinny vertical crack through your foundation, like a hairline crack, not a big deal. Typically happens with settling. If you see a horizontal crack going through your foundation, you need to call a structural engineer. It means that the wall is having motion where it's like bowing in. Pressure is being pushed on the wall and it's causing the wall to want to collapse. So here we see these vertical cracks. We want to look, how are they cracking? They're cracking, descending. They're getting bigger as they go up. You see moisture moving through the wall, actively leaving behind this efflorescence like we talked. Here it's branching off in a couple different directions. We saw the structural issues, what looked like structural issues as far as cracking drywall on the interior of the house. Some of the windows have actually been moved out of their frame. On the opposite side of the house, there's a window that's actually falling out of its frame. And then here on the opposite side of the house, we've got the same condition here. The crack started in the opposite side. It's inside the house where we just were. It was smaller at the bottom. It's getting bigger as it goes up. And then it's kind of tapering off a little bit as we get higher. But as moisture gets in here, wind-driven rain, snow, that's also going to freeze, and then it's going to crack even further. But again, here we can see this crack branching off in different directions. At initial thought, you might think it's not that. But here we can see, you know, this crack is a lot worse than what it appears to be. So this is not necessarily the crack, but this is, and it goes all the way through the wall. So these are things that if you find a certified professional home inspector, they're gonna be looking out for your best interest, looking at the structural components of the home. Recommendation here is always to have a structural engineer or foundation repair specialist give you a solution to the home. Most likely they're gonna wanna correct your grade. If your grade's not pushing water away from the house, keep those gutters slope properly, downspouts, keeping water discharging away from the foundation. Not like this. This house has been sitting here for a long, long time, and it's just discharging that water from the upper roof, and it's a large roof, is just letting the water just spill right next to the foundation. So we don't water our foundations. Not good. So anyways, have a good day, guys. If you need a home inspector, just look us up, www.craftsmancolorado.com. Phone number is 720-593-0383. And I'm Jeremiah Wheelersburg, owner of Craftsman Home Inspections in Denver and Aurora, Colorado.